Hello and welcome to part 3 of Quizness, where we're going to be talking all about how to pick the right quiz topic for your business. So if we haven't met yet, I am Anne-Marie Rose and I am a brand strategist. I help coaches, consultants, and experts just like you to grow your business effectively online. And I created this Quizness series, which is a live stream series that's this week and next week. If you're watching it live, if you're catching the replay, you can access these videos anytime. Because I have seen a huge growth in my business related to, as a result of creating quizzes, and helped lots of my clients do the same. So let's dive in. I did want to give you a quick reminder, though, that if you haven't caught part 1 and part 2 of the Quizness series, check those out. They're available on my channel right now. No matter when you're watching, there's a playlist, a Quizness playlist that's specifically created. Be sure to go watch those because they're really going to set you up for success to implement exactly what I'm going to be sharing today. And if you haven't already downloaded your Quizness series workbooks, you can follow along and implement and take notes as you go. Definitely recommend that you do that. So let's dive into today's topic, which, as I mentioned, is all about creating quizzes, or creating a quiz, the right quiz topic, picking the right quiz topic for your business. So this is really the key to a compelling and engaging quiz, is the right quiz topic. Picking the right one will help you to attract the right people who will stay engaged with your brand and eventually invest in what you offer. And on the other side, if you pick the wrong topic, at worst case scenario, your quiz becomes internet clutter, which I've seen plenty of quizzes do. But if you, best case scenario, it does reach some people, engage a few people at first, but you're really attracting the wrong people who end up losing interest and never really invest in what you offer. We're going to avoid that second scenario today by making sure that you do pick the right quiz topic. So the key to a great quiz topic is to consider the results of your quiz. Now, some people refer to this as your quiz outcome, whatever you want to call it. It's the thing that people receive when they complete the quiz. And what your quiz result should do is provide your audience with value, which is typically going to come in the form of clarity and or direction. I'll show you more about what I mean. But another thing to consider is that you really want your quiz to provide people with a quick win right away. That's the case for almost any lead magnet, any freebie that you're going to offer your audience. It's best if you can give them a quick win right away, and a quiz that's even more true for a quiz. It's not enough to just tell them some interesting information like what, fairy princess they are. It might provide some great entertainment to pass the time on a Sunday afternoon, but I'm not knocking those types of quizzes. But ultimately, a quiz that's going to grow your business, you want to make sure you're giving your audience a quick win and providing real value. So think about it this way. To determine what that quick win should be, I want you to think about the roadmap or the customer journey, the audience journey with your brand, truly. So after your paid offer, we're going to start at the end here. So think about what it is that you offer. Maybe it's a consulting package. Maybe it's a course. Maybe you have a physical product that you offer. Well, once a client or customer has fully experienced whatever it is you offer, if they've had the best case scenario experience, we're going to consider that them having made 100% progress or experienced 100% transformation or getting 100% of the solution. So picture that in your head, and now think of where they are right now. Maybe they haven't heard of what it is you offer. Maybe they're just starting to realize the problems that they're having in relation to what it is, in relation to your expertise. So where your audience is right now, you want to start to think about what's their current reality like. What's their level of awareness about the problem you've solved, their level of awareness about their own problems, as well as their challenges and desires that relate to what you help with. Now, how the best way to determine what your quiz result should be, or how you're going to help your audience by creating a great quiz result for them, is to think about what 5% further on that journey from where they are now to where they'd be after experiencing your offer. What's about 5% on that journey? The first 5%. What does that look like? What could they accomplish or understand that would move them forward just that little bit of 5% and give them a quick win? That's really what you want your quiz results to be able to deliver for them. Now, I'm going to give you a clear example so that this is super tangible for you. An example is my own quiz, the brand message breakthrough quiz. Now, we'll start at the, and I'll move myself so that you could see. I think that should have moved me, maybe. I'll shrink myself a little bit here so that you can see better. There we go. All right. So after people experience my consulting process, they have aligned offers that align with their strengths, their story, and how they want to be showing up in their business each day, as well as the income they want to be making. They have a clear brand message. They have an engaged and growing ideal audience, and they have a streamlined, strategic, impactful, and profitable online presence. Now, that's a minimum 12-week process that it takes for us to work through all that. So it's an involved experience. That's a very big transformation that happens through that process because it's an investment of time and money and energy on both of our parts to make it happen, right? But just because I have that really transformational consulting experience doesn't mean I can't break it down to the very first step or the first quick win that my audience could experience. So I know that my audience, before they ever engage with my brand, they are coaches and consultants and experts who are wanting to grow and scale their brand online. They maybe want to evolve a little bit, incorporate more of who they are into their business, and what they're experiencing right now before they ever introduce to me is that they're struggling to engage their ideal audience online, and they also want to grow and scale business that aligns with and supports their dreams. So once they take my quiz, they experience that little 5% of progress, that quick win, because they gain clarity on their unique brand type, which helps them to understand their brand strengths. Then they understand how to start communicating more effectively online to engage the people that they are best suited to serve. So they start to gain that sense of clarity and then around their brand and direction regarding how to communicate more effectively online. Okay, so I'm trying to, there I am. I'm like losing track of, I'll just keep myself super small for now. Now here's how that looks when we're talking about thinking of the quiz topic, the result, the quick win. So the topic of my quiz is brand message clarity. So it's called the brand message breakthrough quiz. And what I'm telling them they're going to get out of it is clarity on that. Then around their brand message. So the result, what I actually deliver for them is help them to understand their brand type and their strengths. So that's really talking about their brand strengths, and then giving them clear communication tips to start to communicate their message more effectively. So while actually, defining like a brand message statement or something like that would require some sort of knowledge on like the specifics of what it is they offer and all of those types of things, what I want them to do is feel really empowered to go start communicating in a way that's going to truly engage the people they're best suited to serve. So the result that I'm delivering them is going to help them do exactly that. And because of that, they're getting a quick win around clarity. They understand their brand type, they understand their strengths, and direction, because they now know how to move forward and communicate more effectively. So start to be thinking about what this could look like for you. You can always kind of brainstorm after this video and then come back to it. Another example I want to share with you is Dan's quiz. So Dan is an app developer who teaches other developers website developers to become app developers. Now, Dan, once people experience Dan's coaching program, they're proficient in JavaScript. They have experience building an app from start to finish, and they're also starting to get work referrals for app development jobs. Now, before they ever know about Dan, they are already developers, but they're developing websites specifically, and they're struggling to increase their income because there's a lot of website developers out there. So they want to master JavaScript and so that they can get paid to develop mobile apps. Now, I'm not a developer at all, so if you are and you're like, she's saying that wrong, take it with a grain of salt. My job is making sure that you develop your brand right online, not necessarily that you know all the coding languages to build an app, right? And after his quiz experience, that 5% progress is gaining clarity on their JavaScript proficiency and understanding what their unique next step is on their journey to becoming an app developer. So for someone who hasn't even learned a little bit of JavaScript, they probably, they maybe need to master those first little basics. Someone who's semi-proficient, maybe they just have a bit more work to learn, some specific things to study. And then someone who is proficient, maybe they just need to put all the right skills together to be able to build something that's worth as a good piece of their portfolio. I don't know. Now I'm trying to talk developer speak, and clearly I have no idea what I'm doing there. All right, so the quiz topic breakdown for that particular quiz, the JavaScript proficiency quiz, is the topic was really their readiness to develop mobile apps. So when we talk about the topic, we're thinking what's going to sound good to our audience? What's going to be that reflection of that middle ground between what we know they need and what it is they want, what our audience wants versus what we know they need. So readiness to develop mobile apps, that spoke to Dan's audience, but where if he maybe would have led specifically with JavaScript proficiency, maybe wouldn't have resonated quite as much, but they do know they want to develop mobile apps. And he knows, I know they need to know JavaScript to do that, so he's going to help them figure out how proficient they are and then tell them how to ready they are to develop mobile apps. Make sense? So that's the result they get then, their JavaScript proficiency score, and then a next step to become ready to develop mobile apps or move closer to becoming ready. And then as a result of the result, Dan's audience now has clarity around how proficient they are in JavaScript and direction around where to go next to become more proficient or to start actually developing mobile apps. Now your quiz title. So this is, I've realized after creating multiple quizzes for my brand and clients' brands, helping clients to create quizzes for their brands, your quiz title is actually far less important than you might think. A lot of quizzes don't even have a title. It's just, are you really ready to develop mobile apps? Like that could be the name of the quiz. Of course, you can have a kind of an internal shorthand for your quiz, but you don't need to have some fabulous name for your quiz necessarily. But you do want to make sure that whatever you're going to call your quiz, however you're going to frame your quiz to your audience, you want to be speaking their language. You want to make sure they're using the same words that they're using. You want, like I said, the quiz title or whatever you're calling your quiz, however you're naming it, however you're presenting the quiz to your audience, you do want it to reflect that intersection of what your solution is, so what it is they need, and their perceived problems or desire related. So that's like what they want, right? So we just talked about that in Dan's case where he knew they needed to be proficient in JavaScript. They knew they wanted to be able to develop mobile apps. So he said, do you have I believe how it's framed is, do you have what it takes to develop mobile apps? So while the quiz is testing their JavaScript proficiency, they're just wanting to know, are they ready to develop mobile apps, right? So it's kind of that middle ground. And his title he didn't say JavaScript proficiency quiz, or he didn't say mobile app readiness quiz. He framed it in a way that was, do you have what it takes to develop mobile apps? So that's a great framing. That's that meeting, that intersection. It's reflective of that intersection of what Dan knew that his audience needed and what his audience really truly wanted. Now, how do you discover what the heck you should call your quiz? Or maybe you're thinking, I have 15 different quizzes I could create, or on the other side, maybe you're drawing a total blank. Ask your audience. This is one of my favorite things to do whenever I'm thinking about creating a new resource, is to ask my audience, what do you want to know? How can I help you? And then not only do you get great direction, you know which direction to go, which way is going to actually serve them, you also get some insight into the language they're using around your particular subject matter. So feel free, take a screenshot right now. You can copy this exact post text, share it to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever it is that your audience hangs out. Even if you have like a super small audience or you haven't even started growing your business online really, if you know just 5 people who are interested in whatever it is you do to help people, then you could send this to them directly. Send them a DM on Instagram, shoot them a text, whatever it is. This is a really amazing way to get incredible feedback, start to use your audience's language, and avoid wasting time creating stuff people don't even want. So copy this, even if you're like, I don't know if I will create a quiz right now. You should, but if you're not quite sure, still copy this, because you should use it every time you're thinking about creating a resource or something new for your audience. So your next steps, ask your audience. Please do that. Share if you decide to post publicly on Instagram, Facebook, wherever. Be sure to use #Quizness so that we can support each other, keep each other accountable. And then, of course, if this was helpful, like this video and hit subscribe so you don't miss part 4 through 8, which are still to come in the Quizness series. I'll be back with step 4 tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll see you then.